Wilfrid Brambell was an Irish actor best known for his role as the cantankerous Albert Steptoe in the classic British sitcom Steptoe and Son. Born in Dublin, he began his career in local theatre before moving to London, where he appeared in numerous stage and screen productions. His breakthrough came in 1962 with Steptoe and Son, where he portrayed a grumpy, elderly rag-and-bone man, a role that made him a household name. But there have also been rumors about his life. Now we find out the truth.
How do you think it's changed over the years?
I don't know, really.
Neither do I.
Not really.
Different words.
Do you think the relationship between you and Harry, playing Harold, your son, has it changed in any way at all? Have you maintained the same sort of tempo all the way through?
Wilfrid Brambell was raised in a working-class family and was the youngest of 3 children. His father, Henry Brambell, was a printer, while his mother, Edith Marks Brambell, was a singer who performed in operas and local concerts. The combination of these influences likely sowed the seeds of his interest in performance, even from a young age. He began acting in amateur dramatics in Dublin, cutting his teeth on local stage productions, and developing his craft in a bustling Irish theatrical scene. Brambell's career as a performer started early, with his first public performances occurring when he was still a child. The experiences he gained in Dublin's local theatre circuit served as the foundation for what would become a lengthy and successful career in acting. He eventually left Dublin for London, seeking greater opportunities in a more competitive environment. In London, he worked tirelessly in small theatre roles and bit parts in films. His early career was characterized by perseverance. He often took on whatever roles were available, honing his versatility as a character actor. By the 1950s, he had established himself as a reliable actor, performing in a mix of stage plays, television dramas, and small film roles. His ability to convincingly portray characters much older than himself became one of his trademarks and would later define his most famous role. Brambell's big break came in 1962 when he was cast as Albert Steptoe in the groundbreaking British sitcom Steptoe and Son. The show focused on the dysfunctional relationship between a miserly father and his frustrated son, who run a rag-and-bone business. Brambell, though only in his early 50s, convincingly played the cantankerous and manipulative Albert, a character meant to be much older. His skillful depiction of the older man, complete with a stoop posture, gravelly voice, and exaggerated facial expressions, became iconic. The chemistry between Brambell and his co-star, Harry H. Corbett, who played Harold Steptoe, was electric. Their on-screen relationship was a mix of comedy and tension, with Albert's scheming and Harold's exasperation forming the core of the show's humor. Steptoe and Son quickly became one of the most beloved and influential sitcoms of its time, running for 8 series from 1962 to 74, with Christmas specials and 2 feature films. The show's success not only cemented Brambell's place in British television history, but also defined the tragicomic tone that many subsequent sitcoms would adopt. During the height of Steptoe and Son's popularity, Brambell took on other roles, although none were as significant as his portrayal of Albert Steptoe. In 1964, he appeared in the Beatles' film A Hard Day's Night, playing Paul McCartney's, quote, very clean grandfather. Brambell's comic timing and ability to inhabit eccentric characters made him a standout in the film, which has since become a classic. His portrayal added another layer to his reputation as a gifted character actor with a knack for both physical comedy and deadpan delivery. After Steptoe and Son ended in 1974, he continued working in television, film, and theater, although he never recaptured the heights of his earlier fame. He returned to the stage, appearing in a mix of comedies, farces, and character-driven dramas. While he occasionally reprised the role of Albert Steptoe in radio adaptations and charity appearances, Brambell sought to distance himself from the character later in his career, expressing a desire to be seen as more than just Steptoe. Brambell's later years were marked by a mixture of continued work and declining health. His legacy remained firmly attached to Steptoe and Son, with the show continuing to find new audiences through reruns. However, Brambell's public appearances became less frequent as time went on, with his final years spent largely out of the spotlight. Despite his enduring association with the grumpy and miserly characters he portrayed, those who knew him spoke of his professionalism and dedication to his craft. Wilfrid Brambell died at age 72 in London. He died of cancer, leaving behind a rich legacy in British comedy and television. His portrayal of Albert Steptoe remains one of the most iconic performances in British television history, influencing future future generations of comedic actors. His contribution to British culture, particularly through his work on Steptoe and Son, is widely recognized, with the show being celebrated as a classic that helped define the British sitcom genre.
A nice guy. And we did work well together, despite the fact that we only met when we were working.
Wilfrid's personal life. Wilfrid and Harry H. Corbett formed Steptoe and Son, but behind the scenes, their relationship was far from amicable. While the chemistry they shared on screen was undeniable, tensions between the two actors were well known in the industry. Brambell and Corbett reportedly had little in common outside of their professional partnership and clashed frequently during the show's production. The root of their strained relationship stemmed from their contrasting personalities and approaches to work. Corbett was a trained method actor with a serious dedication to his craft, while Brambell had a background in traditional vaudeville and variety performances. This difference often caused friction, as Corbett found Brambell's lack of preparation and casual approach frustrating, and Brambell's alcoholism frequently disrupted filming. He was known to drink heavily, which led to erratic behavior on set. His drinking not only affected his performance, but also worsened his relationship with Corbett, who found it increasingly difficult to work with him under such conditions. Brambell was notorious for his difficult and rude behavior both on set and with fans. He could be cantankerous and dismissive, traits that mirrored his character, Albert Steptoe. Colleagues described him as moody and irritable, particularly when under the influence of alcohol. His interactions with fans were similarly unpredictable, ranging from polite to downright hostile, depending on his mood. Despite the public persona he had cultivated through his comedic roles, Brambell's off-screen demeanor was often abrasive, and his bouts of grumpiness alienated those around him. Adding complexity to his character, Brambell held openly negative views towards homosexuality, which was paradoxical given his own secretive personal life. While he made homophobic remarks in public, Brambell was himself gay, a fact that he kept hidden through his life. During the 60s and 70s, being openly gay in Britain was fraught with danger due to widespread societal prejudice and the fact that homosexuality had only been partially decriminalized in 1967. Brambell's closeted life meant that he lived in fear of being exposed, a situation that undoubtedly fueled much of his bitterness and anxiety. In 1962, he was arrested in London for, quote, importuning for immoral purposes after soliciting a man in a public lavatory, a scandal he managed to keep mostly out of the press at the time. His contradictory stance on homosexuality, disparaging others while hiding his own truth, can be seen as a product of the pressures of his time. This secretive aspect of his life, combined with his alcoholism, contributed to the volatile environment during the filming of Steptoe and Son. Wilfrid Brambell's legacy is one of immense talent mixed with inner turmoil. His secretive personal life, struggles with alcoholism, and difficult demeanor cast a shadow over his career, despite his success in creating one of British television's most memorable characters. Now it's time to hear from you. Do you think an actor's erratic behavior can ruin their career today, or have we just seen it all? Let us know in the comments section below.